We are Action Toon Bros, and we're here to make you think about death and get sad and stuff. One, two, wait. Welcome to Action Toon Bros. I'm Ben Sturgeon, and with me today I have the owner of this thing and my best co-host,
Matthew Lewis. Hell yeah.
So I know it's not metal, but how'd you like the Scott Pilgrim start?
I love Scott Pilgrim. I remember I read the full comic series before the movie came out.
Oh, right.
I have not seen the new show, which I hear is like
you haven't?
Crazy like spinoff, or not spinoff, like a rework thing. I really want to see, but I haven't had time yet.
Wait. You haven't actually watched it yet?
The new animations? No, and I haven't.
Oh, dude, you're gonna love it.
I've seen clips and stuff, and I know that it's like I said, it's like a re-time thing of the original story, but I have not watched it fully yet.
It gets complicated, but at the same time, it's good because they got the original voice cast who did the original acting from the original movie.
Yeah.
In this.
Yeah, like I said, it's
good.
Fantastic in every incarnation of it. So I'd be happy as hell to watch that. Yeah.
All right. Well, but yeah. 32 long years, or so it feels. And, what episode are we on now?
This is 87.
I never can remember.
87 of Action
Yes,
Toon
this
Bros.
is episode 87 of Action Toon Bros, where, as you could tell by the introduction, we are back at Metalocalypse. We've gotten our Star Wars kick out for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
For the moment.
Yeah,
don't worry, listeners. We're gonna be back to that sometime. Don't know when, but sometime.
Speaking of which, we'll just derail. Did you see the new? There's another trailer for the Maul Shadow Lord series, so got that to look forward to.
I'm gonna have to see it because, like I said, it actually looks interesting. But yeah, I'll have to take a look at that. I did not know that actually, because I don't really keep up with that. But yeah, we are back and we are close. We are so close, listeners, because after this long, probably year-ish long trend, we are finally at the final season of Metalocalypse.
Yeah, I forgot this is the
and this is actually, this would be the season 4 premiere, and gonna be real with you guys. It is gonna be actually short because we've returned the format. We are back to 12 episodes, and we are back to like the 10-ish minute long episodes.
Yeah, the old Adult Swim or the Cartoon Network and Adult Swim 15 minutes interval things.
Yep, we are back to form for this final season, and just whew. Now, Matt, before we get started on these, we're not going to talk about it yet, but just for the listeners, if you recall from the last Metalocalypse episode, I gave you a homework assignment for an album that you had to listen to.
Yeah, Lordy, get heavy.
Yep, and you listened to it, right?
I listened to some of it, not the full thing, because I wasn't sure if it was the album or just the song "Get Heavy," which is like the most famous thing from it. So.
No, dude. Oh my gosh. Dude, you're supposed to listen to the album. I give you the album, not the song. You have to listen to the album.
Well, hey,
man.
I listened to most of the album, so that's good.
Okay, whatever you didn't listen to, you're gonna have to speedrun some songs, man.
I mean, I can jam it out on when I'm driving around from work and stuff, so I can definitely get the full album in no time. But yeah, like what I heard, I did like. They reminded me for some reason. I don't know if it's just the aesthetic of the album cover or the like weird tone of the music. That's like very goofy not goofy, but like not as serious as some of the other stuff we've listened to. It reminded me a lot of Gwar for some reason.
And that is why in the last episode of season 3, that's why I started off with, "Hey, you like Gwar?" You're like, "Boy, do I ever!" I'm like, "Well, you're not listening to them."
Yep.
Because I knew, when I listened to these guys the first time and saw like their album and stuff like that, that's the same vibe I got. Was this is like Gwar, but they're not.
Yeah.
I must listen to them, and here I am, a fan of them.
Yeah, and also, I don't know if you're familiar with like the low budget Russian cartoon called like Metal Family.
Wait. That used to be on YouTube, right?
Yeah, it's a YouTube thing, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I've seen like maybe one clip from it.
I've seen for some reason I was getting a bunch of it a while ago for no reason whatsoever, but or maybe because I'm looking up random metal albums because of the podcast. But like I know that the kid's name, like after the main thing is like the rich guy with the like biker girl and they fall in love and have a family and they're both like huge metalheads. But like the kid's name is Heavy or Get Heavy. I think it either might be Get Heavy or Heavy, and I'm curious if it was a reference to that song specifically because like I said, it's very.
I'll have to look into that because. That'd be cool if they got a Lordy ref in there.
I'm sure they have tons of references in that show. But yeah, like the kid's name is either Heavy or Get Heavy, and that reminded me of that. But yeah, like the song Heavy is very funny because like I was gonna say it's a very like Monster Mash weird line, like weird monster stuff reference stuff. And we were both just talking about how we're both playing Monster Hunter games right now too, which is a very funny coincidence.
Oh yeah.
And also The Devil is a Loser is a very funny song as well. That also reminded me of Guar.
Well, hey, now hold on. Let's not get too hasty, because we'll talk about that after these episodes. Let's not get too far into that conversation. In the meantime, however, it is time for us to finally begin season 4 of Metalocalypse, starting.
Oh wait! There's one more thing. There's one more thing that's actually. As usual, we love to have like timely references, but like we're usually months and months behind. But did you hear that they're having a Metalocalypse anniversary tour this spring?
I heard about it, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to see if I can get to one of them.
I mean, it's probably gonna be like crazy expensive, but like that would be so fucking awesome. I have no idea when it is. I know it's just in the spring, and like by the time this episode comes out, it'll be probably either have already happened or like, probably like happening at the time. Yeah, it's a 20-year anniversary.
Yeah, and because I've always wanted to go to a Dethklok concert.
Yeah,
I've always wanted to, and if I go there, I might have a chance to procure the other like vinyls, and actually no, I think I have all 4 of the Death albums on CD. I have 2 and 4 on vinyl, so I can see if I can get 1 and 3 on vinyl. And if they have Doomstar Requiem, which is what we're going to be covering after season 4, I would love to own that finally.
Yeah,
but then again, I don't know, because I haven't gone to one of those concerts yet, and I really need to, dude.
I see. Some of the dates
right.
I do see. There's the April 15th. They're going to be in Phoenix, Arizona, and on the 26th they're going to be in Chicago, and then May 21st they're going to be in LA. So I have no idea if they're going to be anywhere near the East Coast. Or actually, Chicago's fairly close. Kinda.
I hope.
I don't know if it's going to have anything closer.
Honestly.
But, like, of course, this episode's going to air probably by then. Like, so, who knows?
Honestly, as long as they're, like, either within our state or at least one away, I might be able to swing one of the farther... I might be able to be willing to, like, swing one of the further ones, but... Yeah, actually, I forgot about that. Thanks for that reminder.
Yeah, happy 20th anniversary, Metalocalypse.
Happy 20th anniversary, you mad lads. Brendan Small, everyone, creator of Metalocalypse.
Yeah, absolutely amazing.
Great guy.
Dude. Love the dude.
Well, and with that out of the way, in celebration of their 20th anniversary, we will start off with episode 1 of season 4. Fanklok. We start off with a disembodied voice.
Yeah.
Saying...
Werner Herzog, if you know the director and actor. Yeah.
What was it?
Werner Herzog is the director, actor who's doing the voiceover. He's very, very famous.
Yeah. We hear a disembodied voice. As the prophecy foretold, they licked their wounds and returned from the air to the earth.
We see like a bunch of floating trash in orbit. I guess it's supposed to be like satellite debris or something. And then we see they're in the Mort House, the floating death copter thing, getting ready for their concert. And we see like the song they are playing, I believe, is Rejoin.
Yes, I believe you're correct. I believe it was Rejoin that played.
Okay.
And as they are finally from the sky, they are coming back down. Because remember, the season finale of season 3 was they did a concert in both Israel and Syria. That's a topical one. Just listen to that episode if you want. But again, whew,
Yep.
things got dicey.
Mm-hmm.
But after all of that, they finally return to the Earth. All of the fans rejoice, and Nathan drops a bomb on his bandmates. He is now seriously dating one of his fans, a groupie known as Trindle.
Yep. And that's when we hit that intro. Yeah. The gang talks about how you're not supposed to be dating fans. But Toki's like, but what's about humping groupies? And he's like, yeah, well, that's fine, but it's not really like, dating. He's like, yeah, come on. If he's doing this, he's going to be a sad dildo. As he sees Nathan standing behind him. And Nathan says, hey, man, it's great, dating a fan. She's loyal. She loves me. The rest are like, I don't know, man. Come on, she's crazy. She's gonna be crazy. All the fans are nuts. She's gonna be a crazy dildo. As they turn around, she's right behind them again.
It's at this point apparently they are invited to Clockacon.
Oh
which
wait,
is
no.
like
Before that,
Comic-Con.
yeah. While they're talking about that, he says, "Yeah, whatever. Just don't tell Charles. Charles is, he's gonna be, he's gonna be against it. He's probably gonna complain. He's always has stuff for us to do. He's such an uptight dildo." As he turns around, Charles is behind him. Don't say that as well.
Right, I forgot the joke came in threes.
Yeah, and then he mentions that you guys were invited to Clockacon. And he says oh, they're filled with fans. You see a bunch of fans cosplaying as the boys.
Yeah, right.
And
and they're
he also noticed that
no,
Murderface is currently just smoking up a storm for some reason in the meeting.
Yeah, because of his he was
on the cover of Smokeroonie magazine.
For the cover of Smokeroonie aficionado. and so Murderface is starting smoking. Let's see how well that goes.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, we find the tribunal.
And Murderface does set the smoke alarms off with all of his constant smoking, and the band says that they have no interest in going to Clockacon. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's seriously, dude. If you're gonna smoke outside, dude.
Nope.
Or at least don't have the smoke detectors. But that's a bad idea.
Yeah. But the tribunal talking about Nathan dating a fan. And they introduce Nathan, romance expert, Dr. Tormundbin McMilldididindindin.
Dr. Tormundbin McMilldididindin.
Yeah. He says Nathan is cursed with love. As he quick little montage of all the romantic interests he's had, and of course being in Dethklok, all the horrible ends that they've all had. But they also say that dating a fan is dangerous because of their loyalty, that makes them even more psychotic and more protective of them. And then we cut to what do you do? Is there a name for the inner tribunal, the secondary group of just Silesia?
Walter, Crozier, and the Silesia.
Yeah.
I don't think there's actually an official name for them. I just call them the inner circle because it's literally just the three of them.
Okay. So yeah, they're talking about how their economy is doing so well, and this is perfect for General Crozier's forces to be, gaining power with the success of the band and how things are going currently. And as they're preparing with Nathan, they're still keeping an eye out for Nathan dating this fan. We cut to a long montage of him and his girlfriend hanging out, having a great time, getting along and having sex and all kinds of other random stuff with just them having
just
together.
We're talking she flashes him every now and then. They're doing the really gross makeout kind of makeout kind of stuff, and even all the band are just sitting here dude, what the fuck kind of thing. And as all of this is happening, Murderface still smoking up a storm and all this stuff, and all this crap.
Of course. It cuts to Pickles, Toki, and Squizgar kind of just hanging out, talking about her again, and you see, as they're talking, each one of them individually pulls out a cigarette and starts smoking a bunch. And they see that her laptop is also left alone. They're like, oh, she must have left it, huh? And they kind of like sitting around like, well, it'd be kind of rude to just go on her laptop, right? And then like the Pickles begins to go on it, and then suddenly Murderface pops up like, hey, what are you guys doing? Oh my God, are you guys smoking? And then they're just like, no, we're not. And then of course he's like, wait, is that Crystal's? Is that Trindle's laptop? Let's go on it. And so they all
so they look at everything that's going on, and as I like to directly quote about some people, characters, and stuff like that, they find out that, dude, this bitch is crazy. like, not like she's she's under suspicion for the disappearance of lead singers of several Dethklok cover bands. She was detained but never charged. Also, she has a dating profile that, to lure anyone that looks like Nathan. And of course, she's part of like some kind of like really big like fan group for like Nathan specifically. And she is like, we're talking like cultist level bullshit of like fucking crazy for Nathan kind of stuff. And they let Nathan know. They're like, dude, we gotta tell Nathan this shit. We gotta let him know this.
Yeah, but of course, being as
do.
dumb as they are, the only takeaway they have is she's probably cheating on you. Not that she's dangerous or crazy. You're like, no.
Right, yeah. And then of course they relay this, and they show him all of this, and Nathan's like, dude, what the fuck, guys? I love Trindle. She's like the most loyal person ever. I'm done with this conversation. She's not cheating on me.
Yeah, and then they say that she has a booth at Clockacon, and so they should go make sure she's probably cheating on him right now. And he says no, so they get on the Dethcycle, and they ride their things to Clockacon. But as they are doing that, we see Charles just got to send some guards to just make sure that the boys are okay. At the thing they make fun of all the nerds and all the cosplayers. They're cosplaying members of the band.
Let's see. They're making fun of the sweaty nerds, the cosplaying geeks, the Dethklok furries, the, directly quote, homosexual fans fictions, and their writers.
Yeah,
and of course, like there is a as they're at the con, like Toki actually sees a fan art of him with like his magnificent abs, because let's be honest, of all the Dethklok members, we've seen them shirtless before when they were doing the blues episode. He's the only one who's jacked.
Yeah, who's actually in shape.
He's just like, hey, I likes this one.
Yeah, very. And they're trying to find out where she is, and so they grab a guy. They call him Fat Pickles, and they say, "Hey, Fat Pickles, like cosplay." He's like, "Hey, yeah, it's a really good Nathan Explosion costume." He's like, "Yeah, whatever. Okay, thanks, Fat Pickles." Now, have you seen Trindle's booth? And he's like, I don't know. And then there's another guy who comes up cosplaying
Fat Squizgar.
Yeah, Squizgar. Like, oh, I know where she is. She's in here. Like, oh, thanks, Fat Squizgar.
and then they get to they get to the place that she's gonna be at, where when they open up the door, you see a whole bunch of Nathan cosplayers, and she is blowing every single one of them.
Yep. Nathan, of course, freaks out and runs. He's like, no, and runs up on the roof to kind of sulk, because I can't believe I shouldn't have dated a fan. She comes up and says, it's not cheating. They're all you, and I just want all of you. You get it? She's like, you're fucking crazy. He calls for help, and the band is like trying to chase him up the stairs, but they're all out of breath because they've all been smoking so much.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because they're all out of breath. And they're like, oh, guys, how do you think we can do this? I don't know. We need to take a smoke break.
Yeah.
And they keep, but yeah, when they arrive, they realize that. Remember that time I said that, this bitch is crazy? Well, she's so crazy and so into Nathan that she takes off her shirt, and covering her chest this time is a bomb.
Yep, she has a bomb strapped to her.
She's got a bomb strapped to her chest.
And then like, oh no, how are we gonna stop her? She has a bomb. And then Murderface is like, all right, let's make a smoke screen. And so they all start puffing and smoking their cigarettes a bunch until no one can see, and she starts coughing. And then of course, often since people come and save the band from them on the helicopter. They all fly off, or as the helicopter's taking off, she screams like, "Nathan, I love you," and then she blows up, and also blows up the entire convention. But you see a bunch of people
in the most Dethkloky way possible.
Yep. I just see all the people dying in this huge awful fire. Her face flies up over the credits, and it like smacks on top of Nathan's face, and he's just like, "Oh!" It's like screaming as his face is stuck to his.
And that's where the episode ends.
Yep, that is where the episode ends. Very goofy episode. I was going to say, just last weekend, I was at Fan Expo in Cleveland, a very, very fucking fun convention center. A very small con, but very fun one. When's the last time you've been to one of the cons?
The last con I was at was early January, and it was GalaxyCon in Columbus. Only went for a day.
Yeah, same.
Got a whole bunch of good stuff.
Yeah.
Got a whole bunch of good stuff. But the main reason we were there was for the Q&A, and my friend wanted to do a bunch of like photo ops with some of the Critical Role members.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I've been going to cons for well over 25 years now. I've been going since I was in middle school, almost yearly. Between big things like New York Comic Con or like back then small anime conventions, and I've like completely checked out on any kind of panels. I like never go to panels anymore. I don't go to the meetups. I've cosplayed I think twice maybe ever. I think one time was Inuyasha, and another time was I forgot what the hell I cosplayed before else, but it was something really like minor, really quick easy thing. But like they're fun, they're great, but like I'm so tired of I have no interest in going into panels and sitting in on them. I only go for the dealer rooms these days, and I like if it's a huge con, I'll just try to scope out that thing from floor to ceiling, maybe hit Artistic Alley because my sister likes going to it. But yeah, I'm just there for the dealer room stuff and just like paying too much for nerd shit and seeing cosplayers passingly.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like anymore for conventions, kind of the same, man. Like, anymore, it's usually the dealer's room or the artist alley. But other than that, I mean, there may be a panel or two. But, like, other than that, there's really nothing that's interesting anymore.
I was saying, my sister, it was her birthday this weekend, and that's why we went to Fan Expo. But the real reason she wanted to go, she's been a huge Star Trek fan for a decade. She loves Star Trek. And it was actually going to be William Shatner is going to be there. And she was like, we were talking about how this is probably one of the few last chances you actually get to see him because he is in his mid to late 90s now. So if you have any opportunity to get eyes on him, you should probably try to take it. And there was also a bunch of the Has-Been Hotel voice actors and stuff there. The entire all the Vs were there. And like a whole bunch of other people. It was very fucking cool. Like there was a ton of cosplay. Even if you just did the dealer, it was a very fun, sudden out of nowhere con in Cleveland. It was very fucking cool.
Nice. Yeah, if I remember correctly, at GalaxyCon, again, we only went to see some of the Critical Role members, but I can't remember who all was there. But I know Viv and a few of the Has-Been crew were at GalaxyCon as well.
I remember hearing that.
Oh, if I had more time, the time we had to go, like our cutoff time to leave, that's when the Q&A panel was.
Oh no, there was their autograph section was like at the back end of the dealer room, so we got to see them before heading out, but we didn't get to actually interact or anything like that because it was huge lines. But yeah, just getting eyes on them is pretty much enough. That's more than enough for me. And even giant cons like New York Comic Con that has official giant booths with Hollywood actors and stuff for big upcoming movies come in there. I still have no interest in going to any of the hall, see the giant stuff to see them. I have that's too much.
Right.
Too much work. But yeah. Also, I do know that the joke about the yaoi fan art in this episode is because Brandon Small is annoyed at the insanely massive amount of yaoi fan art there is for Metalocalypse, which I'm you made a show with a predominantly all male cast, that's gonna happen, especially in the fucking fandoms.
Right. But I mean, let's be honest, fans be fans, they do their own thing.
Of course.
But I mean, of course, being a creator, I guess, one would get annoyed by such things.
Yeah, but it's very funny that it is very prevalent and they do acknowledge it.
It's absolutely hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in the meantime, we're gonna go from conventions to the next episode. The next
Nice segue.
You know me, I'm bad at segues. I don't even write a segue. Anyway, so episode 2 of season 4. Diversityklok. We start off by going underground at Mordhouse in the secret area where we find Edgar Jomfru is still alive. He's hooked up to a machine and he's listening to the Deathwater album, which, if you remember from season 1, that was the album that they released where people were literally drowning themselves because they were listening to one of their songs. And they got away with it because this album is intended for fish only.
Mm-hmm. They talk about they're all making jokes, about like the new upcoming album and them, talking about how they've been doing and all that stuff. Nathan has this new catchphrase, "That's doable," and he keeps like saying it. Everyone keeps laughing. Yeah, that's doable. Toki is annoyed because once again he got left behind because he was making chicken tenders for the band and they ditched him when they did this giant press conference. We see that Murderface now has a giant unkempt mustache. I don't know if it's unkempt or like just really bushy, a crazy handlebar mustache.
Let's go with both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's Murderface.
Yep, and they're like, they're asking questions about the album. They're answering it very like offhanded and very jokingly. And like they're like, "What's with the new mustache?" Like, "Oh, I'm trying to get a mustache aficionado magazine or something like that." He's just like, very crazy looking mustache. Like, "Hey, what's wrong with my facial hair?" And then finally, one interview asks, like, "Hey, why are the predominant number of Dethklok fans white?" And then you they're like drama music. They're like, and they're like, one more question? Is Dethklok racist? And they're like, the band like really like awkward and uncomfortable. And then that's when we hit the intro.
Yep. And of course, after the intro, Charles, being the only rational person in the band.
The news is talking about that. Actually, the news is talking about like, is Dethklok racist?
Are they? Public, and it's just like, Charles is like, well, I'm your PR guy, so we need to actually do something for the community, like outreach and help rebuild your public image to make sure, people understand that you guys are, in fact, not racist. And of course, Nathan's just like, wait, I don't care about the race of my fans, because I don't care about them.
Yeah, we hate all of our fans.
Yeah, I mean, that's not how it works, but I get it. And of course, the band, they just keep making. I forget what some of these reasons were.
Pickles and Murderface keep making like a bunch of racist comments, like, yeah, just some guys live in like poor neighborhoods, and then they say like, Pickles like, yeah, some guys just like assaulted my cousin or whatever. But like that's actually a specific reference to like one of the Mel Gibson many like crazy racist tirades that he went on like one of the recorded calls. It's very terrible.
Yeah,
timely for the time, I'm sure. But yeah, just like Murderface and Pickles just like keep saying some guys, but they keep making like various racist comments, of course, because they're very stupid. And that's the point of the band. And Charles says, okay, you guys have got to get serious. This is not a good look, and this has destroyed people's careers before. And then again, he has,
and it will ruin yours.
Where's Toki again? And then again, cut to him. He's in his room, singing a song about how the group is always ignoring him, and how he's going to get revenge on them. He's going to make a new club, the Special Persons Invite Club.
And he invites Pickles, Nathan, and Squizgar.
Yeah, he mentions that the Special Persons Invite Club is gonna have a special logo, like a lowercase t for Toki or something. It's just like, okay, we know where this is going.
Yeah, but it's funny because the band is actually interested. They're like, dude, we want to be a part of this. So Toki's like, Pickles, Nathan, Squizgar, Sears invited, not you, Murderface. that mustache is stupid, and you ain't got the right look.
Yeah, and before that, the band does say like, "Hey, Toki, it's just an accident that we didn't invite you," and then we see like a long montage of them not inviting him to a bunch of different things and a bunch of different events over a long period of time, and that is what he says. Well, you're not going to be in a special person's invite club because you need to be invited, and then yeah, like you said, he invites everyone but Murderface.
But Murderface.
And this is when we cut to the tribunal.
The tribunal discussing about this whole, like, they're gonna do community outreach to, after their incident with the whole "are they racist" thing. To help out, they bring in an expert, and his name is Dr. Crumpworth Spunglacia the Fourth Jr.
Yep. This voice actor I do know from other stuff, and he's very funny. But he also begins to make a bunch of, like, he just makes a bunch of, like, racist comments. Everything he says is, like, a racist pun. It's very, very fucking funny. And, like, and of course, the tribunal, which is all white, is just, like, looking around very uncomfortably every time he makes a racist comment.
And it's funny because Salacia still has a stern look, but even Vater Orlog is just looking like, you can't say that, kind of thing.
Very funny.
But after all of that shenaniganery, you know what? It's not shenaniganery. After all that tomfuckery, they actually do mention something important, and because they're like, they mention Edgar Yomfru, and they're like, we suspect that he might still be alive, but in captivity with Dethklok. And as we cut to Charles actually talking to Edgar, and Edgar mentions to him that he's like, I've been listening to the Deathwater album, and I must admit, especially listening to my favorite track on this, Go Into the Water, I've noticed that there are frequencies hidden in Deathwater, and they're not made by any instruments. And of course Charles is like, what are they? What do you mean? He's like, these frequencies, they're not made by instruments, but by whales. And apparently, I have a feeling that these whale frequencies are trying to send a form of message that the band is supposed to hear. And then we cut back to Toki, Squizgar, Nathan, and Pickles.
Yeah, the Special Person's Invite Club is having a great time, excluding Murderface as usual. He says that he must choose between the club and his mustache. Toki says that it's some special outfits for the Special Persons Invites Club. We're gonna, we'll all wear them on stage when we open up the new the community outreach center. Murderface comes in again. He tries again to join the band. Where he has like slicked back hair that's like matted down with some kind of like hair gel. But Toki says no, he's still not invited to the Special Persons Invite Club. Then we see the band is having a huge event called E-Racism. A charity for minority youths, charity center for minority youths. Charles tries to prep the team, and he's just like, okay, where's everybody? Where's Toki and where's Murderface? As we see, Murderface is like, fine, I'll choose the Special Persons Invite Club over my mustache. So he begins to try to shave his mustache, but then he immediately fucks up. He's like, oh shit. The band. Go to where the. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, no. So as he's shaving that, Dethklok is going to appear, right? With I think this is Toki's new outfits, right?
Yeah. They're in the dark as they're like waiting for the Eracism Community Youth Center like premiere thing. They're in their outfits like, wow, this is really like, these are really airy. There's a lot of room in these outfits, and they're in complete darkness. They don't know what the outfits look like.
Yep. And so when they finally get introduced, the spotlight turns on to them, and the outfits that Toki chose are white hoods and white robes. Yes, they look very Ku Klux Klan.
I mean, Squizgar literally says, "Holy fucks, guys, we looks like the fucking Klan."
Yeah, he's the only one who notices. And then, of course, which is hilarious because as this is happening, we see Toki is still at Mordhouse, and he was not invited to this.
Yeah, he's like, where's everybody? Oh my god, they started without me.
and then, Murderface walks out with a... Oh boy, here we go.
Slick back hair and his...
He walks out with a freaking toothbrush mustache and his right arm in the air,
yep.
making him look like Adolf Hitler.
Yep. He's like, hey guys, and he's just like running, like, hey guys, I'm here, I want to join the club. As he, of course, trips and starts a giant fire, which leads to a giant burning cross on top of the stage while they're just like the Klan, and he looks like Hitler. It's a whole hilariously stupid thing. And of course, a giant fire starts, and the outreach center is being destroyed as usual. And then the crowd,
but
of course,
the fans are like angrily getting
so
yeah, they are chasing Dethklok. Dethklok flee, and the final words are just Nathan being like, wow, this is so not doable.
Yep. And that's where the episode ends. Yeah. Very, very fucking hilarious. Yeah, Brian Mins voiced Crumpworth, and he...
what was he... What else did he voice?
He was... have you seen Black Dynamite?
It's been an age, but I do know that one.
Yeah, he plays Bullhorn in Black Dynamite. The like friend of his who's always like yelling, and he speaks in rhymes like a fucking leprechaun.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he also played him in the animated show, the a really incredibly good Black Dynamite TV show. He's also done voices and stuff like, the Boondocks and a bunch of other like random stuff. But also he's like a regular actor in like TV movies and stuff like that. But yeah, he's a very, very fucking funny dude. Yeah, this episode, along with, I think, this was one of the episodes I was, like, worried when we were doing this series I was going to be problematic. Along with the episode with the doctor where, like, Murderface keeps thinking that he's gay and he's, like, that horrible homophobic episode. I thought those were going to be much worse than they were before the rewatch. They ended up both being very funny and much less, uncomfortable than I thought. But then I completely forgot about that fucking Dr. Roxo episode
And so far, that Dr. Roxo one is like the worst one we covered. Even this episode, which, by the way, everyone, please, I know I don't have to say this, but please don't be like Dethklok.
Yeah, well, no, they're very stupid, and that's the point.
It was stupid. It was satirical because let's be honest. We've had things like this before. We've had Family Guy do it. We've had South Park do it. This is just Metalocalypse's way of doing like the satire of
making fun of racist
stupid
people.
Fucking band. Yeah, making fun of racist people and stupid fucking band not fucking knowing. Only Squizgar at the very end when it was too late realized just how wrong it was.
Yeah, I was gonna say the fact that like the racist accusations and stuff like that, it's not an excuse, but I was like curious, like, oh yeah, this episode really doesn't have a lot for Squizgar to do, who does like black women. He dates them very frequently. So I was like, I was curious. I never really addressed that, but that's why he really didn't have much to do. But it was just Pickles and Murderface being racist, Nathan not caring, and Toki, of course, being oblivious as usual. So it was very funny.
Yes.
But yeah, they handled it much better than I thought. It wasn't as problematic as I thought it was going to be. But yeah, and also this kind of like satirically racist humor I find very funny, and when it's done well, like a show I was going to do for the series a little bit ago. Have you seen Drawn Together?
Oh, how could I not? It's one of Ed's favorite shows.
It's amazingly hilarious, terrible, purposefully offensive, insane show. I remember, if you listen to listeners, if you go listen to our what the fucking shitty movie was it that we did? I hated Marcy X, a terrible piece of shit, offensive, racist movie that I fucking despise, but Ed apparently didn't think it's that bad. Just to throw shade at Ed because he's not here. But we talked about
kind of how it works between the two of you.
Of course. No, but yeah, it was very funny because, like, yeah, it was a shitty episode. We talked about, like, racism humor, things that could be construed as racist. And, like, we talked about the humor in stuff like Blazing Saddles or stuff, like I said, Drawn Together, where if it's the point of it is that it's making fun of those racist people or, like, those problematic people or those hateful people by, like, pointing out that their beliefs are stupid and that it's funny that it's so stupid, that's when it's, like, done very fucking well. Another one is, like, things like any Ryan Murphy series like Glee or American Horror Story where, like, the stupid people are like there's so many crazy problematic jokes so frequently that it becomes very hilarious. And I thought that's where this episode would go, but it really was just like a funny thing to get them to look like they're racist when most of the band isn't. Very, very, like I said, not as problematic, a very fun, enjoyable episode, which I was not expecting to like as much as I did.
Man, dude.
Any thoughts, Ben?
Crazy. I surprisingly enough, no. Just, this is a conversation we're having.
Did you actually watch Drawn Together or Glee or anything like that?
No. Again, Glee is not really my thing.
Okay.
But with a younger version of me at a different time, Ed was once my roommate, and well, one of his favorite shows is Drawn Together, so I got to partake in the forbidden knowledge of the absolutely reasonably canceled show was Drawn Together.
I know what you're talking about.
And let me tell you, let me tell you, listeners, especially those of a younger generation than Matt and I, right?
Mm-hmm.
This show, again, like Matt said, it was on purpose. Raunchy, bad, dark, twisted kind of stuff. Like, it did it on purpose. Like, it was shock humor that pushed the limits hard, breaking some of those limits even.
Oh, yeah.
And, let's just say that today, the first episode wouldn't even have aired.
No.
Not even the first episode would have aired.
No. I might just go into a Rolodex of every time they made fun of, like, handicapped people, they made fun of, like, Middle Eastern people, they made fun of gay people, lesbian, they make fun of trans people all the time, they make fun of every single, it's like the most aggressively problematic show ever, and that's why I find it so amazingly hilarious.
Yeah, and the only thing about that show is it's on purpose.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, people get so offended, and I mean rightfully so. Some of the jokes they made are like super fucking like bad.
Oh yeah.
Like, but the thing is the people who made that show, they literally went in doing it on purpose. And I think that was actually the main reason why it got cut after one season.
No, they had more than one season. No, they had a couple seasons and a movie where they made fun of South Park.
That's right, they did have a movie.
Yeah, they made fun of the movie, which I didn't get at the time, but the whole point of the movie is making fun of South Park for being Comedy Central's darling, even though they're just as bad sometimes, but they always have like a message at the end, so they're forgiven. Whereas Drawn Together is like crazy, racist, homophobic, ableist on purpose, and they have no message at the end of the episode. So they're acting like, hey, just because South Park has a message doesn't mean we should be canceled. But the show had a couple of seasons before it went down. Yeah.
Yeah. Which.
It 3 seasons, 3 whole ass seasons and a movie.
Yeah, that's what it was. But now here's the thing, though. So you know how like Disney has been doing this thing where they take villains and they make like redemption story kind of things with them, or rework the character to make them not as bad as they seem.
Yeah.
That's South Park. And then you have fucking Jack Horner over here from Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which is Drawn Together, who is literally bad and evil just to be bad.
Yep. Oh, I love that show.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
Finally got to watch that movie. Fucking love it.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's amazing. But we'll talk about that on another thing. Maybe it's a special or something.
Maybe so. But yeah, either way, just like. Yeah, I'm going to go on the record official and say I do not recommend watching Drawn Together. I am strongly urging people who have heard about Drawn Together to not watch Drawn Together. Now, off the record, if you decide to watch it, viewer discretion is heavily advised, and Trigger warnings. I will list off all the trigger warnings, okay?
Yeah.
Yes. That is the trigger warnings, is yes.
Yes, you will be. Yes, it is going to be offensive.
There are too many to list, and I'm not going to go through them. Just know that there is a fuck ton of them.
Look forward to us covering the show on the podcast.
Oh, fuck no, dude. No, I draw the line, dude.
Enough about that show.
You're like drawn together, and I draw the line there, buddy.
We'll see.
You say that, but anyway, let's bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
Let's wind it back, because now it's time for episode 3 of season 4. Prankklok, where we start off once again with that same ominous voice, and it says this time, and the ocean was at once the destroyer and the savior. As that echoes, it resonates as newscasters are talking about finally the new Dethklok album is shipped off, ready to hit stores simultaneously.
Oh, we do get a quick
worldwide.
image of the Jomfru brothers still at the monitors talking about the whales continuing to try to communicate. And then it cuts to the album. The album is on the way as the world awaits, and we get a little another Facebones cameo. As Facebones talks about the album is going to be in a pure liquid format. You will go to jail and be tortured if you try to steal it.
Or pirate it, or anything.
Yeah, anything illegal like that. We see a number of people trying to get the album and being killed. And they're saying, did they mention that the actual the master recording is in the liquid format now? I believe so.
Correct. Correct. Yes. Yeah. And also, we're talking. By the way, just so you know, like the caught and imprisoned and subjected to like horrible tortures. Literally, it shows like someone trying to download it illegally. Right? You get one note. And then just, it's brutal.
Yep. What is Murderface doing in a quick scene? It might just says Murderface plays it, but I'm not sure what. Did he play like a sample of the album? I think.
Yeah. I think that's what Murderface does. Is he plays the one note.
Okay. Yeah, and then it cuts to Shanghai with all of the ships beginning to sail out with copies of the album, and that is when we hit the intro. As we come back, Charles talks to the band about the album and how it's time to celebrate. You guys have a little bit of downtime. But as they're doing that, Murderface says, wait, and he prank calls Toki. As he he's like, hello? He's like, hello, is this Toki Wartooth? Like, yeah, this is an old lady. He's like, oh, okay, how's can I help you, old lady? And then he hangs up. He's like, what? Oh, I hope she's okay. And then he calls Squizguard. He's just like, is this Squizguard? Like, yeah, like, I'm an old fat black lady and I want to have sex with you. And he's like, oh, come on, can you call me later? And he hangs up. He's just like, she hugs up too. I hope she's okay. Very stupid. Nathan thinks out like, I don't know. I think this album is not good enough. He says it's too pink.
It needs to be
like
more
tomato
red.
soup. It needs to be more red. It's too late. We've literally printed millions of copies. It's already out and being processed. As he's doing that, Murderface continues to call them and pranking them as they're trying to just he also, what's this? A Getty break from you. He says, I got you guys. And then he says, I got to go to get ready for my Gettysburg reenactment. So see you guys later. As they talk about what the plans are going to do with the free time while the album prepares to ship, Nathan and Pickles talk about how they are going to go on a friender bender, but no tequila for Nathan because he gets crazy violent when he has it.
No, I don't get crazy with tequila. And you see a whole montage of Nathan going crazy because of tequila.
Yep, going nuts in the past. This is when we cut to the tribunal as they talk about the band taking it easy. The album is shipping. The master recording is on a sub beneath the ocean. And they should just prepare for this to, impact the economy in a very positive way once again. And of course, they mentioned that Murderface has now begun prank calling people as they call their prank call expert, Dr. Borgermoo Barrett Swindleforth.
Swindleworth.
Swindworth.
Yeah,
He talks about the history of the prank
names.
calls, and it's very funny. He talks about the history of the prank calls and how like huge giant wars have been started because people have been prank calling people, and how it's a dangerous thing since the first phone, and like just so you have to be wary of it. It might start a war.
Like when the Pearl Harbor bombing happened after a European child prank called Emperor Hirohito. Or when the Cuban Missile Crisis happened, when someone prank called Fidel Castro's nephew.
Yep.
Those are some of the examples they give.
Yeah, very fucking funny. Once again, the Inner Tribunal talk about the Falconback project and how the album release should not affect it in any way, but they should be getting ready to go forward with it. They hope that the drinking and the pranks don't ruin things as they prepare in the Inner Tribunal. And this is when we see Toki keeps getting prank calls from Murderface. He's getting more and more annoyed as this time he gets a call saying he got a free trip to Splasharoonie Water Park. And he says, "Oh, I'm gonna go there." It's like, "Yeah, just invite a friend. Maybe Squizgar if you have a friend you can go." It's like, "Oh, that's cool." It's like, okay. As they show up in their like their underwear and their like bathing suits with like boards and inner tubes, and they say they're like in a random bar in the middle of the city. And it says, like, wait, what's this? Like, let me see this note. And then they read a note. Do you remember what the note had on it?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Because it has a phrase on it, right? As they walk in and you see all these, like, roughnecks and whatever. And the phrase turns out to be, and I directly quote, "I would like you all to suck my cock."
Yep. And then he like, wait a second, as he pulls out his phone and sees who called from Splasharoonie Water Park, and it's just a big old picture of Murderface. And they're like, "Oh, Murderface." Pickles and Nathan are now planning their vacation. But Nathan is still
First
sitting
stop
there.
is Russia.
Yeah. But Nathan is still sitting there stewing about how he doesn't like the album and thinks something's wrong about it. They say, "Hey man, you're upset. You're focused too much on the album. Let's just go on this fender bender and just party, okay? But first, let's do a little pre-gaming." As they begin to wander around Mort House, drinking all the alcohol that they can find.
Every single bit of it. Yep.
And they get really fucked up, and they're like, "Oh, we drank all the booze here. I guess it's almost time to go." As like Nathan, where are you? We see a drunk Nathan opening a cabinet and finding a big old thing of tequila.
Oh no.
Yep. And this is when we see Toki and Squizgar are going to get Murderface back. Their plan is to call either national security or something like that to claim to be terrorists at the airport that Murderface is going to for his Gettysburg reenactment. And he says like, "Oh, this is going to be great. We're going to be like, yeah, I'm a terrorist and like I'm going to kill people." They show up at the airplane.
But also they plan to buy order dangerous and illegal items with Murderface's credit card too.
Yeah. They have his credit card and they start buying a bunch of shit to make it look like he's a criminal.
1, 2, 3.
All right. So yeah, $1 clocillion, $1 million trillion. We cut to Nathan sitting with the album. Now it says that the album, the master recording, is in Mort House now. Was it in was they not in a sub? I thought it was in a sub for when the tribunal was about it.
It was in a sub at one point, and then it's now somewhere in Mort House.
Okay.
And of course he's just silently staring at it with the tequila in hand, which is not good. And we see a clocketeer inform him that the death jet is grounded due to a gathering storm. And meanwhile, Murderface arrives at the airport with Toki and Squizgar sneaking behind, sniggering for the trouble, Murderface is about to get in. We cut over. It's going to be one of these cut back and forth things where Nathan is, still continues to glower at the Liquid Master as you hear a random female voice telling him to destroy it while he has apparently as this female voice is telling him to destroy the record. We see he's having visions of an enormous whale, just this big whale.
Mm-hmm.
And then we cut to, airport security, and somehow figures out that it was Squizgar and Toki, who place the phone calls, and they start beating the shit out of them instead of
Yep,
Murderface.
very very funny. Obviously, because they also grab and show that they have the credit card because obviously they have more security than these two idiots who fell for a prank call from somebody they know. So, and then as Murderface sees them, laughing and pointing, he then gets beaten up as well by the security because it's his name on all the shit that's happening. But yeah, the weather cancels all the flights in the airport as well, and we see the storm continuing. As Nathan continues to hear the voices, and we see the storm finally hitting the actual shipment of the Shanghai album ships, destroying them,
Sinking every single one of them. Yep.
Yep.
And
a
of
big,
course,
giant,
the only
typhoon,
remaining copy,
or what's it called? The spinning whirlpool? Yeah, whirlpool.
Yeah, Whirlpool. Yep. And of course, as all of this is happening, Pickles is very disturbed by these storms and stuff. So he goes down to make sure that the Liquid Master, is safe, And when he goes down, to his absolute sheer horror, he finds that Nathan is standing over it with an axe, muttering that it's a sign that it must be destroyed. And they both have a struggle so that, so he can, they can have an album. And immediately, as they struggle, Nathan punches Pickles. He falls backwards with a nosebleed, and yep, Nathan destroys it. Nathan destroys the album.
Yeah, he has a giant axe that he destroys it with. Destroys the Liquid Master.
Yep. At the end of as the episode is coming to a closure, Edgar Yamfru is looking through all this data and that he's been gathering, and the only thing he can say is that Dethklok must go back into the water.
Yeah, very fun.
And yeah, that's where the episode ends.
Yeah, very, very fun episode that sets up a bunch for the album that they've been working the last season for. But it all gets fucked up as usual with Dethklok. But I was surprised how early in the season that the album got fucked up for this. It's very funny.
Right,
have you ever done prank calls for any reason?
Oh my god, absolutely.
Okay. I don't think I have. I've never really had a reason to. I've never really had any interest in it. So, what were some prank calls, if you can remember any that you've done in the past?
Oh, dude, just simple shit. I'm not gonna lie, just simple shit.
Mm-hmm.
Cause back when they had the fucking number that you would have to dial before actually dialing the number.
Yeah.
To hide yourself from caller ID.
Mm-hmm.
So of course I would do that. It, like I said, stupid shit hey, I'm outside your house. I got your pizza.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I got 3, just bullshit like that. Nothing fancy, nothing too stupid, nothing like Squizgar and Toki did.
Oh yeah, showing up at a random place. I remember I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about how they got some prank calls by some. They were talking about somebody who had gotten a prank call. It was somebody yelling "You hit my car!" and they're like, "What? You hit my car!" And they're just "Who is this? What's going on?" He's like, "Are you kidding me? You're gonna pay for this! You hit my car!" And it's just somebody yelling that, and then you realize, oh, it's a fucking prank call. So they just hung up on the person.
And then let's be honest. There's also there's also a Comedy Central show. Wow, we're going back to Comedy Central.
It's a great channel, and also this show when this show aired, Comedy Central had good programming and was famous. I have no idea. I have no clue what the fuck is on there now, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't either. But Crank Yankers.
Hell,
it was
yes.
literally
Crank Yankers fucking.
Yeah,
ruled.
It was all about different actual famous people making crank calls.
Yeah.
And only it was played with puppets.
Yeah, they actually had the
Jim Henson
recordings,
looking
and
puppets.
then they would have the reenactment of them with the puppets doing it. Yeah, those were so fucking funny. That show
was a great show.
On forever too. Did you ever listen to the Jerky Boys albums?
Nope.
Okay, that was a prank thing from the early '90s and '80s. Where it was these people who were a series of long prank calls. It was basically the tapes that people would pass around in early days of just funny internet humor before the internet. It was people would make long, elaborate, crazy, hilarious fucking prank calls. where like people do like funny characters and like fuck with people for like 5, 10, 20 minutes sometimes, just like with the goofiest insane shit. And you were just like, yeah, like definitely listen to the Jerky Boys. They have some really funny shit that's still very funny, like now 30, 40 years later, that's still legit like terrible fucking prank calls that are really funny. But yeah, it's just a funny concept in general. Unfortunately, I don't think I've ever been particularly prank called, because as soon as I don't know somebody, I like hang up the phone if it's not something official. So, and also like, yeah, with the new, caller ID and everything like that. But I think maybe one time at work I had somebody call it for something really stupid that I was certain was a joke, and they just hung up on the person. It's very funny.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like I said, nothing too crazy. Nothing to the extent of, you hit my car kind of thing like that. No. Just stupid shit. I was young, I was stupid.
Yeah. Have you ever been on a friender bender? Whatever the hell that is.
I mean, we didn't call it a friender bender, but like, dude, when you like just, like when you and Ed do some, like, remember when you and Ed went to that Guar concert?
Oh, hell yeah.
That counts as a friender bender.
Sure. I don't think we were drinking at the time, because I like rode down there with my dad, I think, or something like that. I think my dad took me and Ed down there and then picked us up afterwards when we were all covered with all the fucking blood, cum, and piss or whatever the fuck they sprayed on us at that Guar concert. So
yeah, like the swine flu.
Yeah.
And the avian flu.
It was the avian flu that we both got. Yes.
Yeah.
Totally worth it.
But as to like going out and just going on like a friender bender in the form of like them just going out and just drinking the whole fucking different places, no, surprisingly enough, I have not.
Yeah, no, I do my drinking exclusively with Ed and like at a closed location like a house.
Yeah, same. I mean, it gets expensive when you go out to the bar anymore.
Yeah, no, I've never been to a bar drinking. That sounds annoying as shit to me. That's fair.
That's fair.
Yeah. But yeah, taking it easy. Well, how's the last time? What do you do when you're taking it easy? I mean, we both just fucking game like crazy, so that's obvious.
It's true. It's true. Every once in a while, I like to try to go out when the weather's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike today, and sometimes I like to just go out and take a walk or something.
It's fucking snowing. It's fucking March and it's still snowing, annoying as shit. Is it snowing up where you are currently?
Oh, it was. I mean, like, heck, before we did this current recording, it was snowing bad, but it was like not even close to like almost white out.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it was flurrying a little bit. So
yeah, it's fairly clear now, so that's fine. But yeah, taking it easy is very fun when you can do it. We don't really drink and travel because that sounds insane to me. But I'm good to go on to the last episode of this little batch.
Yes, indeed. Let us wrap up this little thing by going to episode 4.
Motherklok.
We start off with that ominous voice again. In the harvest they dry and wither, and the sun did cease to shine. The hour of forebodement was upon us.
The fans of Dethklok are on the shores mourning the loss of the album, as the news coverages it. They are back again in another death session. I wouldn't know anything about that. We haven't been in tons of those here.
But yeah, right?
Yeah, they say that they, lost this. Is destroying the economy, the huge amount of money lost, and everyone's lives and livelihoods were depending on this album coming out. But now the band is going to do some fairs to try to raise the economy, which is like the best idea they can come up with.
Yep, and the first one is in Tomahawk, Wisconsin.
Yep, Pickle's hometown.
Yep.
They talk about some prizes and various gifts that you can win at this thing, but it's all very, simple. Nathan's giving the speech about what you can win for the prizes. But the people are like, we want jobs, boo! And they like boo them off the stage, and like Nathan's like, oh, fuck this, and he like walks off. Off the stage, Pickles is apologizing to his mother, like, hey mom, what's going on? Like, I'm disappointed in you. You've ruined the academy. Why can't you be, good like your other brother? And he's like, he sucks. He's like an asshole. And she's just being really shitty to him. She doesn't like, why don't you have a real job like your brother? He's a, and he's just like completely pissed off. He's just like, oh, come on, I want to, why do we have a real relationship? Like, if you want a real relationship, you have to be a real person, not some celebrity or whatever. And then this is when we hit the intro.
Well, after the intro, we get Charles, warning the band. It's like, hey, your public image is very on the line right now. You guys should try a more hands-on, approach to fixing the economy, the entire economy. Also, Pickles, you also have a real estate license lined up for you. And everyone's like, wait, what?
Yeah, they're surprised. He says that he wants to have it because, like, yeah, we're not real people. We need to have a real job. And so, like, so as my mother will respect me. And they're just like, well, that's fucking stupid.
And one of my favorite things is, like, he's like, Pickles is like getting pissy because he's like, my mom was right and everything, like, and literally Nathan's like, dude, you need to calm down because your mom is a bitch and you should tell her to go fuck herself. And Pickles is like, whoa, back up. You did not just say I need to tell my mom to go fuck herself. Squizgar's just like, hey, Pickles, you should tell your moms to go fuck herself.
Yeah, and he's just like, oh, you guys are assholes. Pickles, we're all a bunch of assholes. And, like,
yeah, you're all a bunch of assholes. Just like, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna go and, like, sell houses and cars and shit like that,
Be a regular jack-off.
You're gonna be a regular jag-off. In which case we cut to the tribunal, where they're talking about this development of Pickles becoming a realtor. And they call in the Dethklok economist, Dr. Richard Reinhold Renwig. Wow. I feel like Mark Hamill reading this.
But he says it very, very funny. He talks about the rockers becoming regular jack-offs, taking normal jobs, and this is not going to help the economy. They talk about he's doing this for his mother's approval, and that her disapproval of him is probably just jealousy at his huge success, and that Pickles should probably just go tell her to fuck herself.
Yeah, even the tribunal specialist guy is saying that Pickles needs to tell his mom to go fuck herself.
Yep.
Meanwhile, with the inner circle, Vater is like, yeah, so we lost the album. The economy is shit now. This is not good at all. And of course, Salacia replies with that it's time for them to take Project Falcon back into their own hands.
Mm-hmm. As the band readies to go to the fair, they see Pickles and they kind of mock him for his, like, regular real estate looking job ass. He tries to sell a house. He's like, hey, come on, you guys, you guys could be assholes. And he just keeps trying to sell houses on a mortgage. And of course, he's very, very shitty at it, and nobody's taking him seriously at it. After many accidents, we see him, like, I think he set something on fire in a house. He, like, starts a fight with another dude. He's just, like, really shitty, getting into huge fights and being terrible at being a real estate person. After many accidents, he says he's the worst realtor in the world. And then he has a vision of his mother as a giant green alien orb, mocking him and saying that he's not real, and, just mocking him again for his, decisions and all that kind of shit. And he says, it's not my fault. He's like, I just a, regular guy with a lot of money who's trying to sell houses for money. Who has a lot of money to buy houses with. And he's just like, oh, I have an idea. As he decides he's going to buy the houses himself, which is, I'm pretty sure, highly illegal.
Very.
The band.
Meanwhile, we go to the construction site of this death fair where Nathan, Murderface, and Squizgar are getting pretty excited about all the planned rides. You have the Cephalic Annihilator. Mm-hmm. You have the Bilateral Executioner, the Scrotal Hanger, the House of Ancient Torture Devices, and kitty cats petting zoos.
Yep.
Which is Toki's idea.
Yeah, they are talking about how brutal most of them are, but then also, yeah, how fun the other ones are going to be. We see Pickles becoming doing now just buying all the houses himself, and has his reputation is going up, and he's becoming one of the most famous realtors in the world as this is happening, and he's buying up all these houses. And this is when Charles talks about he's worried that Pickles is doing so well as a realtor that he may not return to the band because a man cannot have served two masters. And they're just kind of like, what? And he's just like, oh, nothing. Pickles then gets awarded for selling the most houses, even though he's selling them all to himself, as he's very proud of his accomplishments as a realtor. And this is when Dethklok and the Death Fair begins. Of course, in typical Dethklok fashion, as we said 1,000 times on the podcast before, every single ride collapses and crashes and knocks into the other rides, and you just see tons of people suffering and dying in explosions or getting, bisected and all kinds of just a number of horrible deaths.
Just, in typical Dethklok fashion. But we cut to Pickles, like, Ma, I became the best realtor in the world. And she berates him and says that she doesn't actually care. She wants him back. She wants him to go back to his stupid band so the economy can get fixed. And, of course, he remembers, because Nathan told him, Squizgar told it, even Charles, I think, at one point told him. He's like having images of everyone just like, you should tell your mom to go fuck herself. So, in a fit of rage, he looks at his mom and says, hey, Ma, go fuck yourself. And she is like shocked,
she's
bewildered.
And
that is where the episode ends.
A very goofy little very plot light episode. Like the fifth or sixth episode they've had about their mom, then having trouble with their moms, or an episode about them being regular jack-offs, which they've all done like 12 times.
Right, yeah. And of course we all know how well that goes.
Yeah, we're starting well every time. But yeah, very fun little episode to end on. Of course, we talked about in a number of numerous other episodes. My mom's awesome and great, so I don't relate to this Pickles issue.
Yeah, and you want to know something?
Yeah.
My mom's cool too.
Hell yeah, we're like Nathan with the normalist family. It's like just like a slightly weird family.
No, I don't hate my dad. Dad fucking rocks.
Yeah, my dad's fucking awesome.
Yeah, right. But yeah, that's the last episode.
Yeah,
that's
not really much to go into. Have you been to a fair recently? I know there's there's one that happens every year or so, I believe, probably in the summer. But I always see it set up nearby, and I always drive by it. But I'm that's no interest in going because, of course, I'm a huge introvert, but also hassle as hell.
No.
But I see them very often.
Oh, various copious amounts of no.
Well, you go to Ren
fairs. Not been to a fair.
Well, Ren fairs.
Well, I used to, but it's been a long fucking time since I've done one. It's been years.
Yeah, there was one in October that I wanted to go to, but then of course I forgot about it, and then it went by, and I didn't get a chance to go to it. But yeah.
But yeah, actually there is a Ren fair I want to go to. I forget when it is. I think it's in August or September or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know internet sensation Jacques the Whipper. He's a funny Frenchman who likes to crack whips and sing songs parodying his whipping.
Oh, no.
He's actually kind of a funny guy. But I do want to kind of catch one of his shows.
I was saying there was a massive Ren Fair doc on HBO Max that people loved. That people who aren't even into the hobby or into the fairs were talking about how awesome they are, and it made me want to check them out hugely. It looked really fucking fascinating. Also, I've heard you guys talk about them a bunch. So I'm like, yeah, that'd be fun to do. Pseudo cosplay as some kind of medieval person.
It's really not bad.
Yeah, it sounds like a fun time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't been to much fairs. Mom's awesome. Not much really talk about that episode. I have no interest in realty. Hopefully won't be moving anytime soon. I do enjoy my house, so no fucking thing about moving. I've never had to deal with a realtor. Besides the time I was helping you, Ben, and Chris move into apartments and stuff like that. That's the last time I ever talked to these fucking people.
Me, Ben, and Chris?
Yeah, you, Ben, and Chris.
That's what you said.
Yeah.
You, Ben, and Chris.
You, Ben, Chris, and really? Ed moving into apartments variously is the last time I've actually talked to a realtor. Because at my place, we talked to some other company that was fine, and it's been awesome the last couple of years. But that whole racket is very annoying, and those people are very obnoxious. So I'm glad I haven't had to deal with them in a while.
But yeah, even this place that I'm currently living in right now, never talk to a realtor, just talk to the people who own the place.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, so,
All right. So
but
we're
yeah,
gonna wrap this
so,
bad boy up.
well, almost.
Yeah.
Because remember, I did say that at the end of this episode, we were going to have a bit of a discussion, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Matt.
Yeah.
Since you failed to listen to the entire album.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. No. I'm allowed to be slightly upset. Not really. I'm not actually upset. But I'm allowed to be upset at you for that. So you were supposed to listen to the album Get Heavy by Lordy.
Mm-hmm.
So of all the songs you listened to and stuff, what'd you think?
I probably, well, like I said, they have a lot of goofy stuff about monsters, like between Would You Love a Monster Man and the subject matter of Get Heavy. It's also like a lot of very goofy monster talk. But like I said, of course, the Get Heavy specifically mentioned, and also the Devil one's very funny. But I was saying that the
Devil is a loser. Yeah.
No, the one Get Heavy specifically talked about an electric dinosaur and like a monster mash. So that was probably my favorite album. That was probably my favorite, the goofiest one that they've had that I've listened to. Yeah, very very fun.
But
song.
Yeah, it's such a good album, honestly. It's if not their first one, I think it's like one of their first ones. And honestly, I would have to say Get Heavy, Devil is a Loser, Would You Love a Monster Man is classic for me.
It's very famous, I believe, yeah.
But I also like Rock the Hell Out of You.
Mm-hmm.
Such a fun one. And Monster is a very good one.
Yeah,
too.
I was saying there's another one on there, Monster. It's very funny that there's so many.
Yeah.
Did you listen to the Japanese version of Would You Love a Monster Man or the other one?
There's a Japanese version.
Oh yeah.
Yes, there is a Japanese version, and yes, I have heard it. I love it. I love the fuck out of it. Unironically speaking, like I actually do. I'm like, wait, what the hell? And then I listen to it, and I'm like, why this is so good though?
Yeah, like I said, it reminded me of Guar, so that's a very fun thing to think about. But also, yeah, the band it was a very fun album. Or Get Heavy was a very fun.
But yeah,
to listen to.
Hellbender Turbulence is like another good one in my opinion. But either way, yeah. So good. Now, Matt, we're gonna change the format a little bit. Because you went to haha funny metal about monsters and shit, and they kind of don't take themselves seriously. So remember when we did Gendy Tartakovsky's Primal?
Yeah.
Season 2 specifically?
Yep.
Well, guess what it's time for you to listen to, Matt, this time?
What?
You get to finally listen to Amon Amarth.
Oh.
Particularly, you get to listen to the Twilight of the Thunder God album.
Okay. Twilight of the Thunder
Yep.
God.
And, hey, Matt.
Yeah.
Don't just listen to the song that has that title. Listen to the entire album.
Is there an album is there a song called that?
Yes, actually, there is.
Okay.
Dude, don't you realize every single album, they always have a song that is the album title.
Yeah, I was like, is that a specifically metal thing or what? Because I know some other stuff that this dude doesn't know.
No.
So.
Like, dude, legitimately, like, Gorillaz has done it.
Yeah.
Hammerfall absolutely has done it.
Of course.
Other people, like even Lady Gaga and other bands have done that before. The only ones who don't do it, that I've noticed, the only ones who don't do it is literally like soundtracks.
Yeah. Obviously, there's a couple of hip-hop albums that I don't believe had specific song titles in there as well, but it's a weird trend. I don't think...
honestly, it's like... Yeah, honestly, I think it's harder to find someone that doesn't do that.
Mm-hmm, true. All right, I'll check those out. I'll finish the Lordy album just as a little bit of extra homework. I'll talk about the last half of the album I didn't get to as well.
Damn right you will.
Yeah.
But anyway, since we're doing the end of the episode, I don't have any shameless plugs still, so Matt, do yours.
Okay. Listen to old episodes of Action Toon Bros available on YouTube. The RSS feed is fucking up right now, so everything is exclusively on YouTube, which sucks. I need to fucking look into that. It's very annoying. Of course, old episodes of Movie Garbage, new episodes of Movie Garbage. As of this recording, the first part of our who knows how long, how many parts it's going to be Marvel series should be airing. And then we have, of course, the Forgotten Minotaur King novel. Go buy it. Go read it on Amazon. Hopefully an audiobook version someday soon, but in the meantime, listen to the free audio version on the website as well. Then, of course, Matthew Liz Podcast on Patreon, Matthew Liz Podcast on Blue Sky, Matthew Liz Podcast on Twitch, Matthew Liz Podcast on everything else, YouTube, anywhere you can find it. Matthew Liz Podcast is the brand. Go look it up and go buy stuff there, I guess. And that's all from me.
Excellent. So, from us to you, have fun, stay safe, and as always, keep it sleazy.